Hey family, this is Ashley B. If this is your first time joining my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I love you guys so much. I'm coming with a quick word, quick message to encourage somebody today. The message today is trust in God even when it's hard. Trust in God even when it's scary, because trust in God can be scary. Faith can be a scary thing, right? And so I wanted to talk about this today because I know that this is something that we struggle with, right? This is something that we will struggle with in our faith walk. This is something that we will struggle with in our lives. You know, God, I'm trying to trust. God, I'm trying to do what you want me to do. God, I'm trying to have faith in you. But let's be honest, God, my faith wavers. Or God, I'm trying. I don't know how to push past this. I don't know how to see anything else other than what I'm seeing. So that's what we're going to be talking about in this video today, y'all. Trust in God even when it's scary. And one of the hardest things, I want to start with this. One of the hardest things it is when it comes to trusting God is surrendering. But you got to get to a place in your life where you surrender everything to God. You surrender everything to God. You might be somebody that has surrendered certain things to God, but you got to surrender everything, right? You got to give him every area of your life. You know, for me, some of the hardest things that had been hard for me to surrender to God is in the areas of like finances, right? Like trusting God to be your provider, right? Or what's some other areas? In the area of forgiveness, right? You know, when people will hurt you, and the things that people have done to you in the past, and you will hold on to that pain, you will hold on to that, you know, to those grudges, you will hold on to that heart, that bitter heart, that cold heart, you know, towards certain situations. That can be a tough thing to surrender to God. When God tell you to forgive and let this stuff go and forgive these people and love them, you talk about trusting God. You talking about trusting God. You know, another thing I could think of is just even trusting God with your future, right? You know how God will say, how God tells us he knows the plans that he has for us, right? And it could be hard to surrender that to God when you want to do a certain thing or you want to go a certain way. And God is like, no, that's not what I have for you. Or that's not the job that I have for you. That's not the man that I have for you. That's not your husband, sis. No, I have something else. I have you going this way. You're not supposed to be going that way. I have you going on this path. And so sometimes those things can be really hard, right? It can be really hard to surrender those things. Because, you know, we always basing things off of our own understanding. We always basing things off of what's happening in the physical, right? Like what we see, or even what I've realized, this is what, you know, God has done in our relationship and getting more intimate with God and forming our relationship, is even when you've gone through certain things in your past, right? Like how you might have lived your life, or certain traumas or things that you experienced in your childhood, like that hurt, that rejection, that abandonment, and all that stuff you may have carried from childhood. And when you get to a point where, you know, you with God and you have a relationship with God and you trying to trust God and all these things, it can be hard to believe the things that God has for you. It can be hard to have hope, right? To even be able to give God that faith, right? To give God that authentic faith, because all you done seen is broken relationships. All you done seen is this broken identity of yourself, right? All you done seen is these broken pieces of yourself. All you done seen is these hopeless situations. All you done seen is rejection after rejection. All you done seen is heartbreak after heartbreak, right? And so it's like, God, you tell me to trust you. You tell me to trust you. You tell me to lean on you, God. But I'm broken, God. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. I've been through too much. You know, even the stuff that you have gone through might have built this shell, right? It might have built this shell around you. It might have built this toughness. Like, I gotta be tough. I gotta be tough. I can't be vulnerable. I can't break down. I gotta be strong. I gotta be this. Can't nobody see me weak. I gotta keep, like, you might have built that exterior, right? Because of your life, because of the circumstances in your life, right? But the number one thing is that you have to surrender everything. You have to surrender everything. And I say this because I want you to learn from my lesson. I want you to learn from my lesson because I'm telling you, it used to be so many things that I could not surrender to God, right? It would be so many things. And that would be the same things that will continue to hold me back, because, you know, God, when God is doing something in your life, we got to just let him do it. We got to just let him do it. We got to get out of his way, right? We got to take our grip off of the situation. We got to stop trying to take control and let God lead. Let God do what he want to do in our life. We got to give him free reign to just, God, however you want to use me, God, whatever you want to do. Sometimes these things, they don't make sense. God is the type of God that does things that do not make sense. He's the type of God that does not make sense. It doesn't. And that's that part of God, those things that he does in our life, that's the part that's scary, right? That's the part, because you be looking like, God, how you telling me to leave my job? You know, God is the type of God that'll call you, tell you, leave, walk out your job right now. Walk out your job. And see, other people will be sitting around thinking you crazy, right? Thinking that, why would you just do that? Thinking you dumb, but God, you know that's what God spoke to you to do. And even you sitting you trying to be strong in front of other people, right? But even you sitting on the sideline like, God, what's up? God, what's up? What do you mean? I mean, I'm about to do this, God. I'm about to do this because I'm trusting in you, and I know you telling me to do this for a reason. Y'all, come on. Who knows what I'm talking about? Those things that God is calling you to do, those things that God is telling you to walk away from, or just certain things, certain ways that God may lead you. I'm telling you right now to trust. I know it doesn't make sense. God lets us know in his word. He told us in his word, right now you don't understand. You don't understand why I'm doing that. You don't understand why you have to go through this heartbreak right now. You don't understand why I had to snatch you away from this place. You don't understand this. But later you will. Later, it's all going to make sense. Later, you're going to understand why. You're going to understand why I had you go that way. You're going to understand why I had to do it this way. And you got to surrender. Surrender. And I say this all the time because the only way that you can be somebody that surrenders everything to God, the only way that you can be somebody that truly trusts in God, I'm talking about full confidence, full faith, you have to know him. You can't trust somebody that you don't know. You can't put your life, I'm talking about your whole life. Everything about you. You cannot put that in the hands of somebody that you don't know, who does that? That's foolish. You would never say, okay, I'm going to leave everything. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to just give up everything and just go with you. No, you would never do that with anybody that you don't trust, anybody that you don't know, that you don't have. You have to have a confidence in somebody, right? You have to have a confidence in a thing to be able to just lay your life out on the line like that, to trust somebody with your whole life. I'm talking about your whole life. Think about that for a minute. Your whole life. And the only way that you can do that is by building trust with God. How do you build trust with God, Ash? How do I build trust with God, Ash? You got to know him. You got to know him. You have to spend time with God. You have to get in your word. You have to seek him. You have to seek God. Gone are the days when you just saying that you believe God. Gone are the days when you just live in I can't think of the word right now, but you just going along to get along type of life, right? Like, yeah, sometimes you choose when you want to pray. You choose when you want to get in your Bible. You're not going to get no results from that. You're not going to be able to have that trust and that confidence. You ain't going to be able to have your strength, faith in Jesus. He is the author and the finisher of our faith. So the only way that our strength our faith can be strengthened is through Jesus, is through God, is through the word. Because he's the one. We don't go get a measure of our own faith. We don't go and find our faith. Our faith comes from within. Our faith comes from Jesus. He's the finisher. He's the author of it. He gives us the measure. And the only way our faith can continue to be strengthened is when we go through experiences, when we read our word, right? We read our word, we spend time with God. We see what God has to say about us. We see what God has to say about us. We get our understanding, we get our answers, we get our direction through the word, through spending time with God, through seeking God. And so then when we go out in the world, when we go out, we get that clarity, we get that direction, and then we go live it out. And we see how it worked out for us. We see how God showed up. We see how he gave us the right direction. We see how he led us in the right way. Then we sit back and be like, ooh, God. Ooh, you're a good God. Ooh, God. I sought you and you answered me. I prayed to you. I gave it to you like you told me to do in your word. And you answered me, God. I was stuck for a season, God. I was stuck. But I came to you and I got that answer for you. And I moved exactly how you told me to move, God. And look at the results. Look at how you showed up. Look at what you did. That's how you build the trust in God. That's how you build faith in God. Even when these things are scary. Even when you don't understand these things. Because you start knowing God for yourself. You start knowing God for yourself. You start having an experience. Y'all, I love y'all. I could keep going on and on. I can keep going on and on and on and on, but I have to cut it off. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If this is the type of content that you really love and need right now, really about trusting God, I can do some more content on this. So y'all let me know. But I love y'all so much. Oh, I do want to invite y'all this month, coming up in March, this month, I am doing free 30-minute coaching sessions. God has led me to do that for the entire month of March. For those that don't know, I am an inner healing and purpose coach. And this is what God is calling me to do in this season. He said there are people that need a mentor. There are people that need help. There are people that are stuck in this season and they need a push. They need a help. They need somebody to help them to pull these things up out of them, to pull out their potential. Wherever they're stuck right now, I need you to go out there and reach my people. So God pushed me and told me to give this free resource this month, in the month of March coming up. So for those that are interested, please go down in the description, check it out. Go ahead and book your session. I love you guys so much. I'm here for whatever y'all need. Y'all, please get in the comments, email me, reach out, however I can help y'all. I'm telling y'all, I'm serving. So I love y'all. I will see you in the next video.